The scientist that I chose for my biology role model project was Dr. Gary Gibbons. Dr. Gary Gibbons grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He gained his inspiration from his mom to commit to a career in public health while growing up. He gained his undergraduate degree at Princeton University. He attended Harvard Medical School for his doctorate degree, and he completed his residency at Brigham and Women's Hospital. He overcame the obstacle of being a minority in the medical field and is now extremely successful. Dr. Gibbons' hobbies are fairly average and include working out and exercising at the gym and hiking the outdoors. I admire my scientist most because he seeks out better treatment for minorities in the healthcare system. I identify most with my scientist because he is a medical doctor and that is the profession I am seeking. Furthermore, he has risen to the top and is now the director of the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, also known as the NHLBI, which I admire greatly. He seeks to help communities that have poor health and economic statistics. He sees this as a duty, as medical professionals have the qualifications and abilities to do so. Overall, he represents minorities in powerful ways that are extremely admirable to me, and I hope to follow his ideals as a medical doctor one day. Dr. Gibbons is mostly involved with the human body and the medical aspects of biology. Specifically, he is interested in the heart and the cardiovascular system as he is a cardiologist. He has studied the aspects of one's community and how they affect one's individual health, looking at severely impoverished neighborhoods in Atlanta, Georgia. One of his main points of research is studying the connection between genetics and the risk of heart disease using modern genomic technology. He primarily looks at the cardiovascular health of African Americans in these studies and overall seeks to understand how racial differences can impact cardiovascular health. Because he is the director of a medical institute, he also takes part in administrative research on how to improve medical policies. The most recent paper that Dr. Gibbons has contributed to was Generating Evidence to Inform an Update of Asthma Clinical Practice Guidelines, Perspectives from the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute. This paper was largely administrative in nature and observational on how regulations regarding patients with asthma would be improved and updated. The paper highlights various aspects of treatment that will be under review, including adjustable medications, immunotherapy, and amount of exhaled nitric oxide in regard to treatment. There are not any experiments conducted in the paper, but it rather highlighted the process that these updates were to be conducted. First, a 15-member committee was established called the National Asthma Education and Prevention Program Federal Advisory Committee. They plan to assist the NHLBI and other national organizations to determine the effectiveness of each medical treatment that is used on asthma patients and then update the guidelines. This updated guideline will update clinical recommendations regarding the treatment practice that are studied. The paper will further highlights the peer review process that the updated guidelines will go through, and lastly, the disclosures that each researcher will agree to. What Dr. Gibbons has uncovered and the future. His main research has been in cardiovascular disease, also known as CVD, and the health of African Americans. He has looked and acknowledged that there are genetic aspects to CVD which cannot be generalized to an entire race, but he overall found that alpha adrenic receptors have been more variant and common in African Americans, which leads to higher rate of heart failure. Also, he has found that ACE polymorphism is more common in African Americans, and this is associated with ineffectiveness of beta blockers that target CVD. Some of his achievements include Fruits of Excellence Award and Daniel Savage Scientific Award, along with many others. The future of his research includes mainly handling administration, as he is currently the director of the NHLBI, and he researches medical guidelines within the health system. He could further his CVD minority research by looking to aspects of other races that may put them at higher risk.